Art runs in the family. The Staley Family Exhibit at the Aiken Center for the Arts displays the work of a mother, father, and daughter. This family exhibit will run until March the 20th. Today on the front page, we interview two of the artists.
Well, artists face several challenges. Probably the greatest of all is financial challenges.
Financial challenges.
Creating art is expensive. It's very expensive. But if you're going to do it, then you don't worry about the expenses. Okay, you do it because you know what you're doing is from your heart, and it's your calling. And you deal with the expenses later. Because you know, I had a professor once told me, he said, "Look, Alvin, if you want to keep on making art, you better find something reliable like teaching. Teach and then make your art." And you know what? I thought, he's right. Because as an artist, sales come slim and in between. You don't make many sales. But if you have a steady income, like teaching, you can work, get a steady income, buy art materials, and still make art.
That's true.
And you don't have to, you don't have to compromise your art. Never, ever
Stop creating.
and never give up.
Yes.
Never give up. I don't care what comes your way. Don't let quit be in your vocabulary. Never give up.
And just continue to create works of art that glorify God first of all, and then yourself.
Well, for me, art was always a part of my life. My earliest recollections are always about creating art. I mean, even from my youth, art was my outlet. It was who I was. I was an artist. I mean, art defined me, and it became a vehicle by which I was able to communicate. When I couldn't find words, I could create pictures. I could communicate through my art. And not only that, art was a place where I could come and be refreshed, and it was a hiding place for me because I could find comfort in creating art, and I was safe there, from the world. I could be in my own world when I created art.
Okay, art for me was inspired by my parents. My mother and my father were both lay artists. They weren't formally trained for art, but our home was filled with their art. My mother, especially with her quilt making, she loved to draw. My dad loved to draw. They did like small road signs, just surrounded by creativity all my life. And with 11 children, my mother entertained us through art. When we couldn't look at TV because they didn't let us look at TV that much, but she would entertain us through arts, and just a part of my life growing up. So I decided I wanted to become an art teacher, in which I did, inspired by my mom again and my dad, to become an art teacher. And I just love creating, visually expressing myself, my thoughts, my feelings, visually just being able to express myself through colors and shapes and lines and value. It's just something that's just awesome for me to be able to experience. Even on a daily basis, I try to do art daily because I love it that much.
As far as describing Greta's, I guess objectively, as I look at her work, I see a visionary. I see someone that's able to visualize and record things that others just can't. What insight, what knowledge, just rare. And I can appreciate it, and I'm telling you, I think I am probably her biggest fan. I mean, I love her work.
And that's because you taught a lot. Alvin taught me a lot of what I know as well.
She always says that.
He did. Matter of fact, we met at Claflin University, and he inspired me whether he knew it or not. We went in the art classroom together for many, many classes. He was an inspiration to me, and I always wanted to be like him as far as developing my art. So
Thank you.
that's a big plus for our
I knew Greta was
relationship.
one for me because artists are strange people, and not everybody can live with an artist. And I knew that if I was going to spend my life with somebody, it had to be somebody who had that same passion and love for what I loved so much, art. I mean, when people look at me, they realize that I'm about art. I love art. And art has become the vehicle by which now I can communicate and express my faith. And that, to me, it means so much. God gave it for that purpose.
As a matter of fact, we taught together for about 20 years. We were the art department at Orangeburg Wilkinson High School.
And Claflin.
Claflin University, State University. We have so many children students that went into the art field because I believe because of the influence that we had in their lives, and we are so proud of each and every one of them.
Our son is also an artist. He's a photographer, but he's into science, but he's a very good photographer. Our daughter is an art teacher. Well, I know, an artist teacher, because I always emphasize that. It's not enough to be an art teacher. We must be artist teachers. Yes. Artists first, teachers second. You must have a passion for what you do, and you must be driven by excellence. You want to achieve the best that you can, and you want your students to do the same. And our daughter has that same passion.
And our granddaughter.
And our we have a future artist, and she's driven. She loves to create art. Oh, I think the passion just passed down from generation to generation. So, really?
But yes, I agree with Alvin. We have a granddaughter, 11 years old, Alicia, and I guess she's been around art all her life. Maybe that was her inspiration, but I believe it's in her genes. And she creates this beautiful artwork. So we hope the next exhibit that we are part of, it'll be all four of us.
3 generations.
3 generations.
Yep, 3 generations of Staley artists. Well, ultimately, I think our overriding desire is that the community will be enlightened and that God will be glorified.
And the gospel will be shared visually through our ministry.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a free lecture with the Staley family presented on March the 18th at 10 a.m. Contact the Aiken Center for the Arts for the details. We'll be back after a quick commercial break.
Everyone's a welcome guest at Crescent Automotive. We're Aiken's Choice Award winner 4 years in a row.
That probably has a lot to do with our low upfront windshield pricing and no additional processing fees.
Remember, everybody drives Crescent. You should too.
Welcome back to the front page. Owner plans to expand and move local barbecue business. A move and expansion are in the works for Duke's Barbecue, a popular restaurant located just south of Aiken near New Ellington. Read reporter Dee Dee Bowles' story for the details. Behavior Intervention Program. The Aiken County School Board unanimously approved hiring a director for a new behavior intervention program for students in grades K through 5th. Board members also brainstormed ideas on how to address discipline issues in the classroom. Storytime in the Gardens returns. The City of Aiken Parks, Recreation, and Tourism hosts Spring Storytime in the Gardens. Storytime is free to attend and will be held on the grounds of Rye Patch on Tuesday, March the 3rd at 4 o'clock. To read more about these stories, please visit aikenstandard.com. My name is Michelle A. Jackson, and I will see you next time on the front page.